What is your NSFW secret you are not proud of? When I was 14 or 15, I filled a 2-liter bottle of pop with hot water and tried grinding up against it. I burned my vagina and it was the worst experience trying to explain that to the doctor and my parents. I was back to my old college in a small town a year after graduation for an event. I arrived to stay at a friend's house in suit and tie, and a strong need to take a shit after a long trip. Finally on the toilet in my room. The shit came out huge and hard, and would not flush down. I tried many times. Did not want to ask my friend's parents to fish the shit out, so I scurried around trying to find a solution. I found some business envelopes on my friend's father's desk with his company logo printed on, grabbed one, and fished the shit out of the toilet, wiped the piss off, and put it in the envelope. It would barely fit. Everyone was leaving the house for the college, and not wanting to leave the shit in an envelope, I put it in my inside suit pocket. It smelled bad in the car. After we parked the car, we walked over a small bridge. I casually walked behind everyone, and took the envelope out of my jacket, and dropped it into the river. I watched the shit slowly float away. Yesterday I printed off a penis measuring kit and measured my penis for the purpose of ordering custom-fit condoms online. For men who like to with class and sophistication. Basement party. Lots of drugs. I vomited into my red Solo cup discreetly and set it on a card table. A few moments later I watched a guy pick up the cup and take a swig. Then he vomited, too. I once tried masturbating with sunscreen as lube. Oh, the burning sensation. The irony. I posted an ad on Craigslist saying I wanted someone to eat my pussy. A surprisingly attractive man replied. We met at the park. He ate me out. We parted ways. I met up with him once again later, but we just smoked a blunt and chilled. He invited me to Disney World with he and his son, but nah. I might be bisexual but have no interest in exploring that. When I was around 10 I drew some very unrealistic tits and an ass on 2 separate pieces of paper because I didn't know that a vagina was a thing and tried having sex with these pieces of papers in the shower by cutting a hole in the middle. My idea of sex was that I had to pee inside. Never finished because I was too hard to pee. I tried having sex with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I put it in the microwave and had hot peanut butter stuck to my dick. Haha, what the When I was in foster care as a teenager I slept with multiple foster sisters of mine and their friends. No huge age discrepancies or anything crazy, but I was sneaking around behind our foster parents' backs and we were having sex almost every night. First time hanging out with a guy at his house. We had been drinking a bit, and I had the overwhelming urge to pee but being shy, I downplayed it, to show me where it was. He said he would. Right after he's done tinkering with his car. Once he finally finished, he lead me to the bathroom. I peed my brand new nude pants on the way to the bathroom. Thankfully he didn't see as I slipped through the doorway and immediately shut the door behind me. I didn't have a change of pants, so I soaked my pants with water to make it look as though I just accidentally sprayed myself with the tap and rubbed lotion all over them because I didn't have any perfume. He still thought I was an idiot for spraying myself with water. That was an uncomfortable day. I was smoking with my friends and we wanted to make an apple bong. So we got an apple and made a bong. It worked. We used that thing for a while, until my buddy's mom came home and my high ass decided that instead of throwing the apple out the window I should just down that thing. I ate this nasty ass apple that had spit and ash in it, to the core. My buddies asked me why and my exact response was, taken one for the team, my homies. I threw up on my walk home. I went to a car meet in my brand new Dodge Challenger Hellcat. My buddy followed me home. About an hour and a half drive. I had the sudden stomach cramp feel and thought it was just gas. So I figured next rest stop 14 miles. I'll make it. I didn't make it. I shit my pants in my brand new car, all over the Alcantara seats. I pulled over, jumped the guardrail and finished my business. My buddy asked if I needed napkins. I said no, I got leaves here. Once finished I made it home. Febrezed my car that still smelled like a bad Taco Bell diet. Went in to shower to realize I had a tick on my ass cheek. Plucked it. 2 weeks later had a ring on the bite. Developed Lyme disease. It's got to be one of the lowest points in my life. Needless to say, at least the smell went away from the car over time and no stains resulted of it. I had a colonoscopy and the doctor complimented me on my relaxed and loose sphincter. I shat myself, took my underwear off in a public bathroom, and buried it under some paper towels in the trash. I'm 28. I work in a very large office building. I have access to the building's roof. I go on the roof and masturbate. I shoot my load right on the roof and leave it. There is a stain forming. I once had an opportunity for a threesome and could not get an erection. It haunts me to this day, to be honest. I'm what you would call boner-sexual, which means that when I have a boner, anything goes. And then the shame sets in. Not too bad. I can also suck my own dick. So once my wife and I were fooling around, and she asked to see this talent. So I adjusted position and went for it. She then joined in too. We would lick it together. She would take over, then switch out. Her taking over was nice. Could give my back a rest. So as I am getting closer to orgasm, I make sure we are licking it together, so as to get the cum on both our tongues. Sounds hot, right? Well, the second the jizz came out, the post-ejaculation shame hit in a tsunami of regret. Oddly, she seemed to feel it too somehow as we cleaned up, and never have spoken of the incident again. We've done tons of weird shit together, but that is the only one that is somehow blocked from repeating. I trusted a fart on a 2-hour road trip and shat my pants. I had to pull onto a back road to dispose of my underwear. Small world. I had to take a leak on a long trip and pulled off onto a back road to do my business. There was an abandoned pair of underwear lying near the ditch with a small brown pile of material inside that was moving. Curiosity got the better of me and I poked it with a stick. Much to my surprise and disgust, the little brown pile started laughing hysterically. I asked it what was so funny and it screamed. I told him I was a fart, and he trusted me. I could still hear it laughing as I drove away. Attempted to fake an orgasm once. Am male. I have faked an orgasm more than once. Am also a male. I was a young 18-year-old girl. I had got my first job at the Blockbuster. With my money I bought my first thongs. I was so excited I was an adult and could buy whatever I wanted. Got a cell phone and the works. So one day, wearing my new panties while working at Blockbuster, my vagina started burning and itching like crazy. There was one bathroom with a mom and her 4 kids in there, all going to the bathroom changing diapers, struggling to round up her children. I think to myself, I need relief now. I go into the office to scratch my vagina. I got in, shut the door, shove my hand down my pants and go to town. Of course I smell my fingers to make sure everything is okay down there in case it's a yeast infection or something of the sort. All is well, just had an allergic reaction to the spandex. A couple days go by and for some reason someone stole something from the office. While going through the footage, my boss sees me doing the deed. He tells me, just a heads up, there is a camera in the office. I'm dead inside. I can't believe it. He watched me smell my fingers and scratch my vag. Needless to say, I didn't go back after that. I once had sex with a 18-year-old employee because she didn't think she was pretty. I don't think I'm pretty. Yes, you are, and I'll you to prove it. If there are porn script writers. There you go. Seriously though, I can't quite get my head around this. Not really a secret, but I let a gay friend blow me when I was 17 and he gave me a couple HJs. That's not really the part I'm not proud of. I led him on a bit and got some satisfaction knowing I turned him on, but I'd never reciprocate. He offered me $100 to go farther with him, but I drew the line there. Had I taken the money, that would have really been something to not be proud of. We didn't stay friends. $100 is $100. I manscape often, gotta look good, right? And generally shave my junk with a regular razor. I'm very careful so as not to cut anything, but occasionally I'll get an ingrown hair on one of my globes. Veins are pretty close to the surface, so when I get one and pop it, it'll bleed and bleed. Sometimes for 30 minutes at a time, despite constant pressure. The secret part is that I actually look forward to them, and my twisted self likes popping them and figuring out ways to lessen the bleeding more quickly. Not even changing accounts. F it. I am who I am. Dash dash. Was 11 or 12. First time I masturbated I didn't know what I was doing, just felt good so I continued until finishing. 2 days later I wanted to do it again, so before school I decided I was going to crack one out. Super confident I pumped myself up and tried force semen out of my dick. Eventually I started pissing on my bedroom floor and couldn't figure out why it hurt so bad. The last time felt amazing. What was I doing wrong? Figured that once I get rid of the piss it will feel better. But I'm rock hard and don't want to risk the trip to the bathroom. I dig the sandwich out of my backpack, munch it down and proceed to piss in the plastic bag while stroking my dick. After a short while the bag is now overflowing. Piss is pouring onto the floor. I'm still fully torqued and it hurts like hell because my bladder is empty and I'm trying to force piss out of a stiff cock. Eventually my mom yells at me because I'm going to be late for school. The bag slips from my hand, splashes against the floor. The first thing I can think to do is throw my blanket on top of it and soak it up. By the time she walked in the room I managed to get pants on, the blanket back on the bed. Of course the whole room reeked like piss, so I started by getting reamed out for pissing the bed at 11 years old and making no effort to clean. Then she noticed my lunch bag on my dresser and the empty sandwich bag among the pool of piss at the side of my bed. Got doubly yelled at for eating my lunch early. Brother and sister overheard and of course never let me live down pissing the bed. At least they don't know what I actually did. Throwaway for obvious reasons. This was one of the lowest point in my life. I was broke, homeless and addicted to pills. I was in a public toilet cubicle trying to snort crushed up pills and it fell all over the disgusting toilet floor and I then proceeded to lick those pills from the floor. I want to throw up every time I think of that moment. I haven't told anyone this story because I'm so ashamed. Had arranged a hookup with a girl I met online. She was traveling through town and was going to stay a few days before moving on. The day she was going to arrive, she called and told me that her Airbnb had fallen through, and asked if she could stay with me for the long weekend. From our texts back and forth, she was planning to spend a night or two at my place anyway, so I said yes. She arrived, and was easily 50 pounds heavier than all of her photos. Spent 3 days banging the shit out of her anyway.